Hello, welcome to Always Yarn First. I'm Lindsay. I'm a knitter, crocheter, spinner coming to you from Central Arkansas. I work at Arkansas Yarn Co. and I am a virtual assistant. To stay updated on my latest yarn adventures, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. Welcome in, everybody. Today is Wednesday, November 12th, about 12:15. And I'm in a little time crunch, so we're gonna jump right into this. If you are new here, welcome. I do a traditional podcast style. I hope you will find something you enjoy and stick around. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back. I name every episode after a song title because before my love of yarn was my love of music. And I always can find a song that is appropriate to making life, whatever it is that week. So this week, episode 101 is Think I'm in Love with You by Chris Stapleton and Dua Lipa. I do have a Spotify playlist with all of my episode titles, and that is linked below. All right. This week, just a reminder, I have 2 make-alongs going on. Love My Stash is an all-year make-along. The only rules is that you have to use at least 50 grams of yarn, and it has to be stash you had before this calendar year. I have an FO thread on my Ravelry page, and I pulled an October winner, and that is VermontNana. So if this is you, congratulations. You can message me back on Ravelry or send me an email at AlwaysYarnFirst@gmail.com, and I will get back to you about a prize. And then for the month of November only, I am co-hosting the 3rd annual Stripe Along with Kimbers Cozy Creations, Happy Little Yarn, and Jessalynjanice. And my part of that is again hosted on my Ravelry group page. So you will find an FO thread for that. It can be a whip that you already had in progress. It can be self-striping or any kind of striping you've done yourself. Just stripe anything and put in your FO by the end of November, and I will pull a prize from that next month. All right, now let's get into it. This week, I have finished objects, cast-ons, whips, and acquisitions. And I will have timestamps, chapters below to all of those things that you can skip around. And is that it? I think so. So let's get into my finished objects. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished objects. So a couple of them I don't have with me, but I will put in pictures as we get there. So if you've been following along with Arkansas Yarn Co., which is where I work, Anna had challenged me to a November make-along where each week we are making different small items. We're encouraging people, if they're making items for gifts, that they can jump in and make small items each week. We always start on a Saturday and on a Friday, cast on through bind off. So the first week was hats, and Anna won that challenge because she stayed up till midnight, started, and went until she finished 2 hours later. She did an extra bulky hat, but I made 3 hats during the week. So I made 2 of the slip and purl hats. One of them, because we're using the new Malabrigo Vientos yarn, I used it. I have that at work. So I will just put pictures of those 2 hats. I used 2 different colors because I enjoyed working with that yarn so much. It was a beautiful yarn to work with. We are going to be getting it in the shop to have available because we just got a limited quantity for Malabrigo Day. So I bought 2 skeins of that and I made 2 different hats. I really enjoyed this hat. This is the Slip and Purl hat by Jackie Henderson. Now the first one I did as is, so you see all the pearls and then the knit, which you either knit or you slip going down that line. The second one, I basically inverted it and I was working it from the inside out. So I knit it and then either purled or slipped the purl. And then when I was finished, I put it inside out or right side up, and the purl side was on the outside. I really enjoyed that pattern. It did not take me long. But like I said, Anna won the competition, which is fine. And then the other hat I made, that I have made before, is the Bonnie Messy Bun hat. And you can see that there's a hole in this. So back when I used to have long hair, I had one of these, and then I cut it all short, like boy haircut. And I gave it to Jessa because she needed like a ponytail hat. And it was green, so it reminded me of her. And I thought, I'm going to make another one of these because now I have long hair again and it's getting colder. So I wanted to have a messy bun hat. So I do have that. This was from my stash. This is Legacy Fiber Arts DK in the colorway Painter's Smock. Just some light pops of color everywhere. Very fun, very quick pattern again. So I made 3 hats the first week of November. So very excited about that. And it was perfect timing because here in Arkansas, over this last weekend, it got really cold for a couple days. Now, Friday is supposed to be a high of 78 again, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But it was nice to have something to cover my ears this weekend. And then the second week, which we are still currently in of November, was headband week. And I won that challenge. Anna worked on a smaller weight yarn and hers was taking longer. I didn't know if I'd win this challenge simply because I was away for the weekend with Lori in Fayetteville. We went to the Northwest Arkansas Fiber Fest. And you can't start till Saturday, so I got up in the morning and cast it on in bed while we were away. But I did not want to take it to the festival and mess up and have to frog back. So I didn't work on it until we got back to the hotel later on in the day. But here it is. And I did a pattern that I have made many of these. I think this is my 5th one. So this is the Arrowwood headband by Lindsay Fassain, maybe? And again, this is from Stash. I actually went through a phase, I think I finished it like this January. I made a couple of them, and I had gotten this skein to make this pattern. And then I was like, no, I think I got plenty for now. I'm done with this pattern. So I'm so excited to have finally used it. Of course, it's my hot pink. And I'll show you what this one looks like. It's pretty wide. So nicely goes over my ears. But yeah, I love this pattern. I only made 1 headband this week because with the hats, and I have a few of these in different colors, that's about all I really need. So, but I won the challenge this week. Anna finished yesterday morning, Tuesday morning, before she went into work. But she did wear her headband to work, so she is finished for the week. And even Jessa got in on the fun, and she made a headband this week also. All right, I have one more finished object. Again, I don't have it here, but I'm going to put in some pictures. And this is the Stephen West Mystery MusiKAL MKAL that was for the October. So the MKAL is over, but if you are still trying to work to finish yours and you're still not wanting to see any spoilers, then you can just skip to the next section, which is cast-ons, because this is my last finished object. So I will insert pictures here. Anna did take some lovely pictures at the store outside. And I know I've talked about this, but I loved this make-along. When I look at it finished, do I think, yes, I love this, I'm going to wear this all the time? No. It's a little bit too many geometrical shapes everywhere. So had I not done it for the mystery part of it, I probably wouldn't have been convinced to cast it on. And I've been watching a lot of podcasts lately as they're talking about it, and a lot of people didn't love the making of the certain sections. I loved every part of the making. Now, I will say the first part, when it has the wedges, that part, if you were doing brioche, you had to have an extra needle, And it sounds like from people that did it, that was a lot more fidgety and wasn't so fun. I didn't do that part, so maybe that's why I love the wedges. I thought they went super fast. I was very intrigued with all the different elements in them, and that you did 6 of them. And so every part of this pattern, I enjoyed the making. So I am very excited to do another one. Will I do next year's mystery knit along? I'm not positive, to be honest. It might just depend on what's going on in my life at that point, because that was a lot of knitting for the month of October. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I love my colors. Once again, my colors that I used were Twisted Ambition, Sweet Sock Base, in the colorway Blizzard, Corridor, Scrubs, Seasons of Love. I love Ross's colors. They're so vibrant, so fun. And I definitely think the colors make the difference. And if you have been a while, looking at all the Stephen West patterns that people do, colors really do make a difference, whether you love or hate it, because you could look at someone's color combinations and be like, that is not for me. I don't like that. And sometimes because Stephen West shawls are a bit all over the place, you never know which direction they're going to go, what shape they're going to make. Sometimes people just kind of stay in the neutral zone for colors to also not make it be that extra level of intensity, which I totally get. I loved my colors, which I think that's why I do love my shawl. So because I am the only one of the 4 of us at work who have finished the shawl, mine is currently hanging up at work. Last year's MKAL shawl was up there that Jessa had made. So since I finished it, and we still do have kits, so if you love it, we still do have some kits assembled together if you would like to go to ArkansasYarnCo.com and look at what kits we have, or we'd be happy to help you with any color combination you want. But I loved it. So currently my shawl is hanging up at work, which is awesome. It's a great feeling to have made that commitment, finished it. I finished it on October 31st. I finished it in the month of October, which was a huge feat for me. So I'm really excited and I'm excited to do more Stephen West knits. All right, that is all my finished objects. That was a lot. It's very exciting. It's definitely helping me boost my finished objects for the end of year. All right, I have technically 2 new cast on. So let's get into that. All right, this one I don't even have on my list, but I guess I can say this because we'll see. Hopefully I'll get this done. My friend Christy is coming down this week for Jess's baby shower. So a reminder, if you're seeing this on Friday, the 14th, when I put it up, the 15th is Jess's baby shower. It is just a come and go as our regular hours, 10 to 6 on Saturday. Come and go as you please. We're just having very casual. We'll be having treats, and Jessa will be opening gifts as she gets them. But very casual, fun day with friends. And we know we have a lot of friends coming. But Christy, who is from Illinois and I haven't seen in quite a while, she is coming down. And so I wanted to make her something. But of course, I waited way too long. I know y'all understand that. So I took a skein of yarn from my stash on Monday and I took it to work and I cranked it. I was kind of having issues with this crank, so I had to crank part of it, which I think is still in the living room, and then I got one big good piece, which is plenty for a pair of socks, but I have some more. This isn't the whole 100 grams. Oh, my needle has slid off. So I decided to crank a tube, and I took a couple of minis from my stash, and I'm making her some afterthought socks. So I'm hoping that by the time this goes up Friday, this will be done. But here is the tube. And because I don't have it on my, oh my goodness, because I don't have it on my notes in front of me, I don't think I have. No, I don't remember the yarn. I will put it, well, I don't know if I have the tag or not. Anyways, this is from Stash. Lovely color. Christy loves purple. So this isn't purple. I don't have like really skeins of purple, but this has some fun, vibrant punches of purple. And so I found a purple mini. So I did a toe over here, and I'm working on a toe over here. And I've already marked, I've measured where I need to put in the afterthought heel, and then I'll figure out how much, and then over here, measured where the afterthought heel is going to be. And then I have plenty of room between there, you see, to do legs of socks. Plenty of room. And then I also have a pink mini here that I may do the heels in that, and then do the cuffs in the same color as the toe with the purple. That's what I'm thinking. So here's my minis. These are all in high twists, which the yarn is too, so I thought those would go well together. I love a high twist base, especially for socks. So yeah, crank this, working on this, hope to get this done at least by this weekend. I'll see Christy Friday and Saturday, so if not Friday, then cram Friday night and finish Saturday. All right, I have one other new cast on. Right. And it is in my little Yarn Yay bag, which is an old subscription by Vicki Howell. It's no longer active. And I cast on, after I finished, oh, I know what happened. Okay, so the November 1st was the day of our challenge, which is a Saturday. I work on Saturdays. Anna does not work on Saturdays. So I got up, and I actually woke up super early that day, naturally. I woke up about 4:30. Got up, got my coffee, and I'm like, I wonder if Anna really started at midnight. I didn't see a text message from her. So I went onto Instagram, and I started casting on my hat, and I went on Instagram and saw she'd already finished it. I'm like, well, she's already won for the week. So I basically have a full week to finish this hat. There's no hurry because she's already won, right? So she said, I shouldn't have posted it on there. I'm like, no, you won fair and square. I mean, that is the rules. It's okay. So I did cast on my hat. I think I did like the ribbing of my hat, but then I didn't want to take it to work because a lot of times Saturday is kind of the day we socialize with the customers. There's more people coming in to shop. So it's more of a low-key day where I may get time to knit. And I didn't want to take in my hat because I'm like, well, I don't want to work on that and I don't have to. And I was so motivated and hyped because the day before I'd finished the Stephen West MKAL. And I'm like, man, I started and finished that like in the month. That was exciting. And I saw that Hohilo Kitelli was doing a mystery 1 skein shawl. And I'm like, I just knit 4 skeins into a shawl last month. I'm like, I can do a 1 skein shawl, no problem. So as I'm headed out of work, I again look at my stash, pull out some skein of yarn that I had 1 skein for, and brought it with me. When I got there, I wound it up. I brought the right needles, and I cast on. So this is just week 1 or clue 1 of the One Love Mystery Shawl by Hohi. So if you're, sorry, I kind of flashed it, but if you do not want to see it, again, you can move to the next section, which is whips. This is my last cast on. So here it is. This is clue 1. So it's kind of hard to see with my yarn. So it's mostly just this garter, but with a little bit of lace at the top. So really pretty. I'm having fun with it. So I am behind a week. Well, the second clue isn't over yet, but I was going to get started on that today. So we'll see. My yarn I'm using, I got this not when I went to DFW last month, the month before, but the last time I had gone to DFW, Fiberfest. And I had gone by myself that trip because I couldn't find anyone to go with me. And I was done shopping. I had gotten everything I saw. And then I walked by and saw this one skein of yarn. And I'm like, it's basically my 3 favorite colors in one, which is blue, pink, and orange.
Someone's at the ding-dong door.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, where was I? So anyways, I got this yarn, DFW, orange, pink, and blue in together. So loved it. Plus, of course, the Tweety bits, fantastic. Don't know if it's gonna be great for this pattern because of the lace, but I do not care. I love Hohi patterns, and this is just a fun extra challenge. So yeah, I'm excited to work on this one. And it feels so nice. Oh, and this is Hot Boheme Mimi Fingering Base, and the color is The Never Ending Story. And that is the last of my new cast-ons. So we will get into whips. I think I really only have 2. Yeah. All right, so the 2 I've been working on, because everything has been make-alongs plus all those little projects. So this one is in my Maddie's mom's bag, and her name just flew out of my head. But this is the textured shale, so you guys have seen this quite a bit. I am really trying to get some whips done, so that's why this one is in heavy rotation right now. And you'll see I have made a good bit of progress. So here's where my stitch marker is. And here's where I am now. This is just a long scarf, and it feels so long, but it's been so long since I've knit a scarf that I forget how long it has to be, because I'm like, okay, it's good. No, it's like nowhere. No, there's still a lot left that has to be done. So this is a pattern by my friend Christine, who is Treasure Goddess. Oh man, I'm starting to lose names now. Not good. And a simple 4-row repeat. This is a free pattern. Love it. Easy social. So this has been a take as I go. I'm going to move this up before I forget. So I'm just, if I don't know what to bring to the store as my project to have with me, I bring this because I'm like, I know I don't have to think about this at all. Kelly E. McD, that's the bags. Whew, I'm glad I thought of that. All right, the other one is my half and half triangles wrap. Now I had said last time I wasn't going to show it again till I was in the second color, and I'm finally in the second color. So I had told you guys how I had to buy a 3rd skein of the navy. I'm really trying not to. Let's see. And again, because it's a triangle, it's going to be hard to really see what this looks like. Trying to make sure I don't lose my stitches. This bag is a String Crazy bucket bag. Back up a little bit. Now this one, I'm pretty sure I forgot to move the stitch marker up, but maybe I have. It's way down there, hanging out. I have worked on this a lot because I was determined to get this blue done and start on the color. So I'm in the second color. This is the second color. This is Coastal Cotton Fine. This color is Belle's Beach. And you can see I'm just in the second color. So I haven't even started really the short rows yet. That's where I'm at right now. In fact, I need to do that today because I am going to the theater tonight. I'm going to the theater tonight, and I was planning on bringing this project because I always put in a stitch marker where the short row is, so I can do a short row. I just know to move the stitch marker, do the short row, and then turn, put the stitch marker back on. I'm going to the theater tonight, and I thought this would be the best project to bring. That was, again, why I was trying to get the color done. Actually, when Lori drove this past weekend, so while we were traveling up to Fayetteville and back, this is what I was working on to desperately get to the next color because I knew I couldn't change colors at the theater. As long as I was in the second color, I would be good. So I need to get the short row started so I can work on this mindlessly tonight while I go see J-Hope concert at the theater, which is, J-Hope is from BTS. He is my bias, so I'm super excited. But this blanket is going to be pretty big, which is fine. But I like that it's also lightweight. I don't know what that is. I like that it's also lightweight, which is great for me because I think it'd be a good like summer blanket when the air conditioning seems you're just chilling out and not moving, and the air conditioning kind of gives you a little bit of a chill. This will be perfect for that. All right, so you probably won't see it for a while again, just because it gets pretty boring looking at it. But I wanted to show the progress. Changing the colors. Right, moved the stitch marker. And that is all of my making. Yes. So let's get into some fun acquisitions. Okay, I have enough acquisitions and different acquisitions that again, I'm kind of splitting them up into sections. So I'm going to end with the FiberFest acquisitions. Okay, I think that I had mentioned this last time I podcasted, that my friend Christine, again, from Treasure Goddess, was sending me a lovely package, and I got it. She sent me some more fiber. Oh my gosh, it is luxurious. Oh, man. So, this one. Oh, I wish you could pet this. It is fantastic. This is a 60% Polworth wool, 20% yak, 20% Tussa silk, undyed, natural. It's stunning. And then she had given me a list of like, which color do you like best? This, this, this. And this is what I got from her. Again, feels fantastic. And this one is 60% Polworth wool, 40% yak, in the colorway Dusty Rose. So go and check out my friend's store, please. Treasure Goddess. I have showed her yarn before. Her yak-based yarn is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't tried it, you need to. But this feels so good too. So definitely check out her fiber also if you are a spinner. This was such a generous gift from my lovely friend. I have so much things to spend. Not enough time. All right. What else do I have? Okay, I had ordered from my friend Lynn of Chicken Lady Fiber Arts, and I think this is going to be a giveaway for the stripe along. This is Cerama sock in the colorway Sweet Maple. Just very autumn, fall, beautiful colors. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 435 yards. So if you want a chance to win this beautiful skein, please make sure you are posting your stripy projects on my Ravelry FO thread for Stripe Along 2025. And yeah, go check out Lynn. And then I bought some Felicia yarn. And you'll see why. I bought the Wicked colorways. I don't know if these are going to be socks. I was kind of thinking they'd be fun for mitts. I'm not really sure which one. Usually when I make socks for me, I just buy one. So these are 50-gram balls, and 50 grams is plenty with a coordinating mini to make me a pair of socks. But I didn't know for sure what I was going to use them for, so I bought 2 of each. So this is the colorway Popular, and this is Gravity. Okay. All right, so that is things I got. Oh, there's one more thing I got. So I'm not going to tell the complete story, but I'm sure all of you here follow Arkansas Yarn Co. And you see that my boss, Lori, got to go to Stephen and Penelope and met Stephen West and the pups. So she brought us each a little something back. And I love this bag that she got me. My bestie went to Stephen and Penelope, and all I got is this project bag. Womp womp. It is not all I got, but I thought it was very amusing. She also got each of us a matching skein of yarn. And this is PRU. I can't remember what that stands for. Punk Rock Unicorn. Punk Rock Unicorn yarn. In the sole base, it is 85% virgin merino, 15% nylon. So, yeah. It is beautiful. And this is the colorway Spilled Oil. So she got all of us this, and then she got us each different little bags. So mine says this, and I love it. But stay tuned to their podcast where she will tell the entire story of how she got to Stephen and Penelope, what it was like there, so on. But I'm not going to steal her thunder. All right, so next I have my acquisitions from the Northwest Arkansas Fiberfest. So when I go to a Fiberfest, my new rule is I try to walk around one time at least fully and glance around to see, what's catching my eye. If there's anything I'm like, yes, I want that thing. Or, by the time I'm done working my way around, have I even remembered? Like, if I've already forgotten like what I supposedly love, then I'm like, okay, I can live without it. I had gone into the Yarn Adventure truck was there. So they're outside, of course, the building. And I went in there and I broke my rule for something for my daughter. I don't have it, but if you are a gamer or you might heard of Nyan Cat, and she had a Nyan cat pin. And I'm like, well, I have to buy this for my daughter. And she freaked out about it. She thought it was great. In fact, I texted her a picture and she said, how much is it? And I said, I bought it. She's like, I know, but I want one. I'm like, no, I bought it for you. So yeah. And then I almost broke my rule again when I saw a bag and I'm like, oh, and there was only one. And I'm like, oh, I have so many bags. But one thing is I didn't have any project bag that was like this style. And the graphic on it, I was like, oh my God. So I didn't buy it. I had one more row, and this was a smaller Fiber Fest. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to quick go through that last row, and then this is going to be my first stop. And that's what I did. So the first thing I bought was this bag. It is Rugrats and all these beautiful pastel colors. It is so cute. So this is from the Bob and Weave, and you can see it is really nice, heavy vinyl. There is pockets in there, and it has a button in the center, and it stands up, which is fabulous. And you can still, it doesn't have a big thing to hang around you, but it has an easy carrying. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. So I rushed back, got the bag, secured it. That was my favorite purchase of the event. What else did I get? Okay, so inside, I did not buy any yarn. There wasn't anything that I was like, ooh, I need to buy that. I wasn't really feeling it. But I did keep staring at this loom booth. And actually, this same booth was at DFW Fiber, where I took a weaving class. And I saw these little shaped looms, and I'm like, that's interesting, but I never went over to it. I mean, at DFW, there's so many booths. So I didn't go over to it, but then I was sitting down. We kind of were done for the day. And we were just sitting down and visiting with people. And I'm like, I'm really so curious about those looms. So I went back over and I was really talking to her about them. And she was sitting somewhere teaching on one of the small looms. And I was looking at these pictures, and I will put a picture of the specific item I saw that I was intrigued about. And so she has all these different shapes, and she has them in different sizes of the shapes. So I went back and I bought a loom. So I bought this one. And I even asked her, I'm like, which one, probably has the most versatile that you can use for different things? She's like, probably the triangle or the square. You could use it for the most things. But I saw this item and I'm like, oh, this is so interesting to me. And I'm not a huge weaver. Like I said, I've done a couple of weaving things, decorative pieces. But this one, you do the warp and weft at the same time. So I got some different tools and some instructions. I haven't done it yet. And then I bought the additional tool, which makes it easier. I have something similar that I got in the class I took. It's like a giant crochet hook with a darning needle in there too. So you're working the yarn in both directions at the same time. I'm so excited about this. I don't even know why, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm intrigued. I want to make something like the item I saw there. So I got this, the tools, and a little bag. So it's Kiss Looms is the company. And she was so helpful also and encouraging. She could tell I was hesitant. I'm like, I don't know if I should spend the money on that. Will I use it? And she answered all my questions, was super patient with me, was fantastic, basically. Okay, the other thing I got in there, what did I just do with it? Might have accidentally, no. my friend Sarah, the sexy knitter, was there. And I have many of her things. I don't know what I did. Oh, right here. I went over to her booth and she said, I have K-pop Demon Hunter stickers. And I'm like, I'll be right there. So I just got a miscellaneous bunch of those stickers. And she has her stitch markers on the table. You can fill up a little mini pouch, which I have plenty, but I'm like, I want to get this one because it's so cute. So I got that. And then I bought some strawberry shortcake, classic strawberry shortcake stitch stoppers. All right, and that was all I did inside. But I did go back out to the Yarn Adventure truck before we left because I did see some things I probably wanted to get, but I was waiting on. I did buy 2 skeins of yarn in there. So I got this one, which could be for assigned pooling. This is Deep Dyed Yarns Align, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon in the colorway Velvet Underground. Love it. And then I got this Apothecary Fabrications Luxury Linen DK. This is 50% baby alpaca, 25% silk, 25% linen. Feels so nice. There was a lot of people that had some linen blends that I'm very interested in knowing about, but nobody had samples knit up. And I wanted to see, because I always hear with linen, it feels one way when you're working with it, but then it blooms afterwards. So I really wanted to see a sample and nobody had it. But this one is very soft. And so I thought this would be, again, perfect for some mitts, maybe some fingerless mitts, because my hands get cold in the shop in the wintertime. This is 270 yards. Very, very pretty. So that's the yarn I got. And then she carries these Camp Stitchwood merit badges. And Lori had previously bought me the spinner one, but I bought 4 more. So I bought the LYS regular, Scrapgan Specialist, Make Along Marvel, since I just finished a Make Along. And I had to ask what this sable stood for. Do y'all know this? And I don't remember all of it, but it's like stash above life expectancy. Like you're not going to be able to knit all through your stash in your lifetime. And I thought that was hilarious. So I got that one. And then this was the thing I actually came back in there for. She had lots of different fiber, and I love me some like alpaca fiber, natural, to ply with different things. So I ended up getting 2 of these. This is from Furhaven Farm, Lynchburg, Virginia. And it's 70% alpaca, 30% merino. So each of these are 2 ounces. So this is 4 ounces total. And I thought this will just be a nice ply with something. Very neutral, could tone something down. And then evidently I must have purchased enough where I got a free Yarn Adventure bag, which says there might be yarn in here. And that is my acquisitions. That was a lot. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The Northwest Fiber Festival was fun. It was small, but pretty sure that Arkansas Yarn Co. will be signing up to do that next year, which is very exciting. That is the reason we went up there to begin with, to see if it'd be a good fit for us as a first festival to sign up to, and then work our way up to something bigger. So, and we liked it up there. It was very nice. All right, that is all I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much if you stayed all the way to the end. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.